Here we've got some hyacinth bean, purple hyacinth bean that's growing in a basket. Just put those seeds in about a week ago. It's amazing to see how fast things grow in July. And then, and that I do in honor of Conjetta Humphreys, who really loved that plant when she saw it in my garden, and I got some seeds for her, and now these are seeds from Conjetta. So here's the Eupatorium again, and then one of my favorite daylilies that's there. The name of it, I have no idea. No idea at all. And behind it is the nickname sarsaparilla plant that will get plumes of grape-like flowers, probably in about another 2 weeks. That'll be quite pretty. And then down below us, the ordinary things like sedum, and these are all the nasturtiums that Marilyn planted from seed. That was her first venture, planting nasturtiums from seed. And here's jammed in a Weigela, wine and roses, and the phlox are just starting to bloom, and the Heliopsis is in its little playpen right now. It got tied up a couple of days ago, finally. And then over here, more hydrangeas, more phlox, more aconitum, monkshood. It'll have a beautiful fuchsia flower on it, and you can see I like fuchsia. There's fuchsia gomphrena, fuchsia lychnis coronaria, and then some cleome and a Monet Weigela that is variegated there. And then this great plant, name escapes me right now, but it will get beautiful blue flowers on it later in the summer. And then in the distance you see a very low smoke bush that is in recovery. 2 years ago that plant was about 6 feet tall, and a friend of mine convinced me to do something that I never do, which is use a chemical fertilizer, Miracle-Gro. I sprayed it with Miracle-Gro, and the whole plant just collapsed. So that same friend was nice enough to come over and saw down the tree. You can see the little stump there. And then in the background is wisteria that I've topiaried. It's a white and white and purple variegated flower, which is quite nice. And next to it is the dappled willow, and then another one of the mini lace cap hydrangeas here. And over here, some echinacea. The woodchuck has come and eaten this part of this echinacea plant. But behind it, a kale plant. I like the purple colors, and a Eupatorium, and false indigo, Australia baptisia, and some Joe Pyeweed in the background there, the medium-sized Joe Pyeweed. And then here, more canna lilies, more Weigela. You can see I'm trying to get these dark colors into the garden. And then that daylily back there is called King David. I bought that in honor of my friend David Rowan, who does a lot of work over here in the garden for me. And David was the one who gave me those marigolds there, and he starts many plants from seed. And so at this point in the season, David is really an unbelievable resource, especially in terms of giving me extra of his plants started from seed. And here's an elderberry that I absolutely love. And in the far background, you see the sand cherry that's getting a little bit tall and needs to be reined in. And then back here is right behind the elderberry, the bush that's there, is another hydrangea called Pinky Winky. Horrible name, but it gets a conical flower on it, and that is quite nice. That'll be coming along probably the beginning of August. And beside it, a Rose of Sharon that is a double white Rose of Sharon. It's a beautiful flower, very delicate, very sort of Georgia O'Keeffe. And then the daisies, which I like, and the Cosmos daisies, which are in honor of our friend Joey Malloy, who gave us the original seeds for Cosmos daisies. And beside it, a lot of lamb's ear that Marilyn planted this year. We've got two kinds of lamb's ear going there, and I really like those bigger ones that Marilyn planted this year. And then beside that, some short verbena, marigolds from David, and again, a plant that Marilyn threw in, the sun impatiens. And in the foreground, the black mondo grass, which I really like. We made a gardening mistake there and cut the whole patch down last year, so that's in recovery right now, but seems to be doing nicely. And then in the foreground here, some euphorbia with gomphrena or globe amaranth in the background, and some yellow daylilies with the blue spruce again, and a really nice dogwood that Marilyn has kept under control. And a lot of people who have these dogwoods are in admiration of her pruning job here, because she keeps it in really nice shape. One of the things we do is make sure we don't let it flower. The flowers will be trying to come out soon, but they'll be beaten back or chopped off. And in the foreground, Coreopsis could use a little deadheading, and that will happen. And here we have one of the ever-blooming daylilies. This is called Purple-ette, I think, and it's nice, small flower, but it continues to bloom all of the summer. And then some more of the yellow daylilies. In the background, some canna, and in the foreground, some Hakone grass. Back there by the canna, we're going to put in some sunflowers, which will come up tall. But here you have another view of the compass plant, which is about 5 feet tall, starting to get to 6 feet tall, and the giant Joe Pye weed, actually called Joe Pye weed giganteum. And then right here we have the miscanthus, the variegated miscanthus, and it's a really nice plant.